Hi guys, today I'll be taking a look at Thrustmaster's latest wheel bundle. This is the T248R, compatible with a PC, PS4 and PS5. Details are in the description below, including purchasing links. So I'll be taking a closer look at the wheel and pedals you get in the bundle, testing them out to see how they perform, giving you my pros and cons to give you a better idea if it's worth getting or not. But before I begin, if you're new to the channel, hope you can support me by subscribing and hitting the bell icon to get notified of my next release. And if you have any questions, drop them in the comment section below. Let's first take a look at what you get inside the packaging. You get the T248R wheelbase with the wheel attached. There's a box containing a table clamp, a screw attachment for the table clamp, a bag containing a replacement spring for the brake, and an Allen key. There's a USB-A to USB-C cable. There's another box containing a 2-pin power cable and a power adapter, some documentation, and finally underneath here we've got the pedals. Taking a closer look at the T248R wheelbase, this is an all-in-one unit with a wheel attached to the wheelbase. It's a T hybrid drive system working off both gears and a belt system, providing 3.1 Newton meters of torque, and it has a 900-degree lock-to-lock rotation. The wheel has a 280mm diameter and is slightly padded with a half perforated leather finish on the outer part of the rim, with it being plastic on the inner part. With a red center marker on the top, there's a thin trim of imitation carbon fiber finish around the spokes. At the center, there's a Thrustmaster logo with 25 buttons around the faceplate, which includes L2, L3, R2, R3, a D-pad, PlayStation X, circle, triangle and square buttons, a PlayStation button, the share and options buttons, together with a couple of encoders. At the top, there's a built-in color LCD screen with 4 LEDs next to it, letting you view in-game telemetry details and adjust a variety of settings directly from the wheel. On the back, you have magnetic paddle shifters, which have a clicky sound to them. Looking underneath, you've got 2 holes for mounting on the sim cockpit, together with your connection ports, which consists of an RJ12 port for the pedals, a mini DIN connector used for connecting accessories, a USB-C port, and a DC power input. In terms of compatibility, it's compatible with a PS5, PS4 and PC, and is targeted more to the entry-level sim racer. Onto the T3PM pedals, which come pre-assembled, with it made of strong plastic with adjustable pedal plates. There's 3 pedals, with each one using a Hall effect sensor. The accelerator and clutch have a smooth motion when you press down, whereas the brake has a bit more resistance due to a spring on the back of the pedal, with it working on the distance travelled, so not like a brake on a real car, which is what a load cell kit would give you, and that works off the pressure you put on it. There's an additional spring that comes in the packaging that gives a bit more resistance to the brake pedal. It's simple to replace, just lift underneath, replace the spring, and then reattach it to the brake pedal. Looking underneath, you've got rubber pads to stop it slipping on a surface, together with mounting holes if you wanted to mount it onto a sim cockpit. To test this out, I've got the wheel mounted on my Playseat Challenge X Logitech G Edition. I couldn't mount it via the holes on the wheelbase as none of the screw holes matched up, so I just used the desk mount to attach it, which held in place really well. I had a similar issue with the pedals where the mounting points weren't wide enough, so I placed plastic spacers, which helped. Let's jump into testing this out on my PS5 Pro, and jumping into GT7, the force feedback felt fine on the system with the hybrid drive system using a combination of gears and belts, with it doing a reasonable job with the wheel being very responsive. It's not as smooth or powerful as a direct drive system, but it does provide a reasonable amount of immersion when cornering and driving over track surfaces, curbs and bumps. But it did feel like it was lacking in terms of level of detail from the track itself, where at times you couldn't feel a rumble from the motor or feel the texture of a road surface, but maybe I've just been a bit spoilt with all the wheels I've tested over the years, as to me it felt like it was lacking more of the finer details. The LCD display worked well, showing information such as gear, speed and other telemetry details on the game you're playing. The paddles worked well during shifting, working as expected with a fairly loud clicky sound to them. Onto the pedals, they performed well with a nice amount of travel. The brake pedal has a reasonable amount of resistance and the tension system helps to increase firmness, but as it isn't a load cell brake, the braking feels more distance based rather than pressure based. Performance wise, it's not bad for an entry level system, perfect for young kids, or if you're on a really tight budget and were after a wheel which worked on the PlayStation 5. Customization wise, there's no mobile app for the T248R. You can use the Thrustmaster control panel on PC where you can update firmware, adjust rotation angle and amend the master gain, together with you being able to test the different wheel inputs. It's very basic and simple with minimal customization, so not as advanced as some of the other software you'd get with Mozza or Fanatec, for example. The T248R is a slight upgrade to the original T248, with the main differences being the aesthetics, with the T248R having a perforated leather rim, giving it a better grippy feel. There's an imitation carbon finish on the spokes and the coloured LCD display with LEDs. The pedals have a slight improvement with Hall effect sensors with an additional spring, giving a bit more resistance on the brake pedal. If you have the original T248 wheelbase, then it wouldn't really be worth upgrading to the new T248R system. But if you're starting out and wanted an entry level system that works on both PlayStation and PC, then this is definitely a good entry level system to go for. So in summary, the Thrustmaster T248R is not bad for an entry level racing wheel. The hybrid drive system provides a decent amount of force feedback at 3.1 Newton meters at its highest setting. The wheel itself is okay, but personally I don't like the half leather, half plastic feel, as it gives it a cheap budget feeling, as I would have preferred the rim to be leather wrapped all the way round, giving it a better feel. The T3PM pedals performed well for an entry level set of pedals, and it's nice to see the brake has a swappable spring if you wanted to have more tension behind it. At the entry level, it's no surprise there's no load cell kit on the brake, but it generally performed well. Price wise, it's very competitive at the entry level market, being a racing wheel that works on a PS4, PS5 and PC. But the sim racing market has evolved quite considerably over the last few years, to a point where at this price point of $350, you could pick up a direct drive wheel from Mozza or PXN, which would give a much better experience than this. But these wheelbases don't have PS5 support, which is the only advantage Thrustmaster has over these other brands. If I had to choose between this and the Logitech G29 or the G923, then to be honest, I'd pick up the Logitech wheel, only because the level of detail you get and the build quality felt better, even though the T248R has more power. So there you have it, you've come to the end of another video, and I hope it's helped anyone thinking of purchasing this. Details are in the description below, including purchasing links. And if you have any questions, then let me know in the comments below. For those of you who've got to the end of this video, please leave a comment with T248R, as it's awesome to see who's got to the end of my video, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Follow me on all my socials, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications to be notified of my next release. Thanks for viewing, and see you in the next one.